welcome into the Dodgers Nation post-game show. I'm your host, Doug McCain. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at DMac_LA. That's at DMac_LA. What's better than one Dodger win? Two Dodger wins. The Dodgers take both games today in the first doubleheader action of the year. The Dodgers shut out the Giants. They win Game 1 by a score of 7-0, and they blank the Giants in Game 2 and win by a score of 2-0. And now the Dodgers have taken the season series against the Giants. They've won 6 games and lost 4 against the Giants. So the Dodgers, they're 6-4 against the Giants on the year and 18-5 against everyone else, despite having a plus 27 run differential against this San Francisco Giants team. But we're going to break down all of the action starting with Game 1. So Game 1, Clayton Kershaw was on the hill, and King Kersh dominates the Giants. Heading into today's matchup, he had a 23-13 record against the Giants, a 1.82 ERA, and Giants were hitting just .202 against Clayton Kershaw. That's best all time from a team against the San Francisco Giants. And so coming off 2 stellar outings where he goes 7 strong in both against the Angels and the Mariners, and he was in his bag all night against the Mariners. 11 strikeouts, 19 swings and misses against the Mariners. That's the most that Clayton's had in over 2 years. Had he fare against the Giants? Well, let's break down some Dodgers baseballs. Top of the first, Dodgers strike first blood after a Mookie Betts leadoff walk. Corey Seager singles to left, and then Cody Bellinger grounds to first on a bang-bang play where he was ruled safe at first, but they overturned the call, but it still brings home a run. Betts scores on the play, and the Dodgers take a 1-0 lead. And then in the bottom half of the first inning, Mike Yastrzemski comes up and singles to center, and then Wilmer Flores hits one that should have gone for extra bases if not for a fantastic play by the Gold Glover, Cody Bellinger.
Yastrzemski is aboard with a leadoff single. Swing and a fly ball into deep center field. It's going to be a long run for Bellinger, and he makes a spectacular backhanded catch against the wall. Oh, what a play by Bellinger, robbing Flores of at least a double. Certainly Yastrzemski would have scored from first. Instead, Bellinger with a Gold Glove play in center field.
Look, the ocean covers about 70% of the earth. The other 30% is covered by Cody Bellinger. He goes 109 feet to make the grab, a sprint speed of 31.1 miles per hour. The major league average is 26.5. And then Clayton Kershaw strikes out Longoria on a well-placed fastball for his first punch out of the game. And then some more phenomenal defense from the Dodgers. A.J. Pollock flashing the leather in left field. He makes a great grab to get the Dodgers out of a scoreless first inning for Clayton Kershaw. And then in the second inning, Donovan Solano doubled to right on a Kershaw slider. His slider has been a weapon all season long. Opponents were just 2 for 28 against Kershaw's slider before Solano's 2-bagger right there. And really, it wasn't a bad pitch. It was a little higher than he wanted it, but Solano just put a good swing on it, and he hits a double. And then Brandon Belt, who's been hotter than fire in this series, he flies out to Cody Bellinger for the first out of the inning. And then he gets Joey Bart swinging on 3 pitches, all breaking pitches in that sequence. Slider, curve, slider for his second strikeout of the game. And then at the top of the third inning, Clayton Kershaw mostly inducing soft contact. He gets Tromp to ground out, then he gets Yastrzemski to ground out, and then a 2-out base hit for Flores. He left a fastball up, and Flores ripped it into left. And then he goes into his bag, and he uses that Cooperstown curveball to get Longoria to ground out. So really quick work for Clayton Kershaw in that third inning. And then the Dodgers offense came alive again in the fourth. A.J. Pollock started things off with a walk, and then Max Muncy grounded into the fours for the first out of the inning. Then CT3, on his quest to prove that barrels are overrated, he hits a ground ball that barely finds right field, but he gets on. Max Muncy was running on the pitch and advances to third on the play, so some aggressive base running by the Dodgers there. That gives the Dodgers runners at the corners with 1 out and Jock Peterson at the plate, and a great at-bat for Jock Peterson. He falls behind the count. He battles back to load the count full. Then he legs out a single, scoring Muncy on the play, giving the Dodgers a 2-0 lead on the night. That would bring up Austin Barnes, who in his last 7 games is hitting .348, 8 for 23, 3 RBIs for Austin Barnes, and his average on the year is all the way up to .293. Remember when he was hitting 91? Me neither. Barnesy falls behind the count 1-2, and then he doubles down the left field line, giving the Dodgers a 4-0 lead.
Second. This one a rope to left field. That's down the line and heading for the corner. Taylor will come around third and score. On the run is Peterson. He's going to get waved home. Here's the relay from Solano, not in time, as Austin Barnes comes up with a 2-run double, and the Dodgers now lead it 4-0.
Then Mookie comes up and he grounds to third for the second out of the inning. Austin Barnes advances to third on the play, and the day was done for Webb. In comes Peralta to face Seager, and another soft ground ball single for the Dodgers, scoring Austin Barnes, making it 5-0 Dodgers. So Clayton Kershaw gets that magic number of run support. The Dodgers are now 121-1 when Clayton Kershaw gets 4+ runs or more of run support. 4+ runs or more, and Clayton Kershaw, name a better duo. The only loss coming in the 2014 NLDS Game 1, but we've already erased that from our memories, so it doesn't count. Then we had our first milestone of the day in the top of the 6th inning when Mookie Betts got his 1,000th career hit.
99 career base hits. Ground ball into left field for a base hit. Mookie Betts with his 1,000th career hit against a lefty, no less. Congratulations to Mookie Betts. Who's going to
And then the Dodgers tacked on 2 more in the 7th. Cody Bellinger, he doubles to left, and Cody Bellinger, another solid performance by the MVP. Cody Bellinger, he goes 2 for 4 on the night with a single and a double and an RBI, and in his last 7 games, he's hitting .423, 11 for his last 26, 3 home runs, and 6 RBIs for Cody Bellinger. Like our old friend Alex Verdugo used to say, don't let the kid get hot, because Bellinger is heating up. Then they say it's hard to leave San Francisco, not for A.J. Pollock, who leaves the yard for his 6th home run of the year.
Pollock with a runner at third.
A.J. Pollock hammers one to left field. This ball back, it is gone. A home run, 2-run shot. A.J. Pollock, his 6th of the season. Dodgers lead it 7-0.
And then Josh Sborz comes in the bottom of the 7th to get the final 3 out. So, of course, the bottom of the 7th was like the bottom of the 9th, but they're playing 2 7-inning games for the doubleheader. But the Dodgers get the win 7-0 and take the season series against the San Francisco Giants. The Dodgers get 1 in the 1st, 4 in the 4th, and 2 in the 7th. And their record improves to 23-9 on the year. The only team in baseball with single-digit losses, your Los Angeles Dodgers. Clayton Kershaw, he goes 6 scoreless innings on the night, and it was definitely another quality start for Clayton Kershaw. That's 3 really nice starts in a row from Clayton Kershaw, who's now 4-1 with a 1.80 ERA. He now has a 24-13 record all-time against the Giants. Oh, yeah, and he ended their 7-game winning streak. Oh, yeah, and on top of that, he's now the winningest left-handed pitcher of all time. He has the best career winning percentage in history for a left-handed pitcher at .700 with a record of 173 and 75, passing Warren Spahn. So another solid day at the office for Clayton Kershaw. He goes 6 scoreless, 4 strikeouts, 4 hits, and he just dominates up in San Francisco. They should retire his number after he retires. Maybe give him a statue because he dominates in San Francisco. And after the game, he was giving all the credit to that stellar Dodgers defense.
It was a little bit of a grind for me today. I think my defense really picked me up today. That first inning could have gone a lot differently had Belly not made that unbelievable play, and same with AJ out there in left. So it was it kind of looks better than it was on the stat sheet or box score or whatever. But defense did a really great job today for me.
So if you want to nitpick Clayton Kershaw's performance, you can say that the strikeout numbers weren't there like they were against the Mariners when he punched out 11 batters. The velo wasn't as strong as it was against the Angels. But Clayton Kershaw, another strong performance. And after the game, he talked about how the ball wasn't coming out as well as it's been in previous outings.
No, yeah, more just the way the ball is coming out today. It wasn't as good as it has been the last few starts, but there's a lot of stuff going on too. You're right. So there's a lot of things more important than baseball yesterday that we were working on, and obviously having your start pushed back a day and not really having a normal day before your start yesterday, that could have all contributed for sure. But it was all worth it in the end, and thankful to get out of there with a win.
So a great win for your boys in blue after what transpired yesterday with all the emotions making national news to take care of business and dominate game one of a doubleheader and win by a score of 7-0, a quality win for the Los Angeles Dodgers. And what really stood out to me today was the offense. The Dodgers offense coming through with runners in scoring position. They were 4 for 9 on the day and lots of clutch hitting. We're talking 2 outs, 2 strikes. Jock Peterson comes through. Austin Barnes comes through. Cody Bellinger continues to heat up. And then A.J. Pollock, who's going through a little bit of a quiet slump, hitting .238 in his last 7. He goes yard late, so hopefully that'll get him going. And then Jock Peterson, who's the streakiest player I've ever seen in my history of following Major League Baseball. He's heating up. And I don't know if it's too early because I want him to heat up in the last couple weeks of the year heading into the postseason. Well, Jock Peterson in his last 7 games, he's batting .467 with 2 home runs, 4 RBIs, 7 for his last 15. Had a great at-bat today. And then Clayton Kershaw, he's been the model of consistency all season long. So the Dodgers, they get the win in game 1. And then for my player of the game, I'm going with Cody Bellinger. He goes 2 for 4 on the night with 1 RBI and a spectacular catch. He robbed Flores so bad, they should send him to Alcatraz for that one. Great play by Cody Bellinger, one of the best athletes in our game. And then for my Dodger dog of the night, and of course, when I say dog, I mean the player that just shows that dog, that fierce intensity. I'm going with Austin Barnes. He just continues to impress me. He goes 2 for 3 today, including that big 2-run double that blew things open for the Dodgers. I'm going with Austin Barnes. What he's done this year, look, you throw Austin Barnes into a cage filled with lions, I'm afraid for the Lions because his perseverance this year after hitting 91 earlier in the year, all of social media, the whole internet was attacking Austin Barnes, and now he's more than respectable at the plate with the bat. So shout out to Austin Barnes. Dodgers win game 1 7-0. Now let's head to game 2. And then in game 2 of the doubleheader, the Dodgers looked to get the series win, and it was all about the bullpen. The bullpen, they showed out 7 relief pitchers for the Dodgers to get the win today. Originally, it was supposed to be Walker Buehler, but he was a scratch due to a blister. He's now on the injured list, retroactive to August 23rd, so he'll be able to make his next start probably around September 3rd. But today, the bullpen, they showed up, and they dominated. It all started with Caleb Ferguson, who had a quick, efficient first inning, 15 pitches, 13 strikes. He gets it done. And then Jock Peterson gets the Dodgers scoring going in the top of the 2nd inning. He goes deep off Gossman for the 5th Jock pop of the year. That makes it 1-0 Dodgers.
Score.
Goes up and gets that one. Cranks it in the air, straight away and gone. Jock Peterson climbing the ladder and then sending the ball straight center field for his 5th. And the Dodgers on the board first with a home run.
Then Victor Gonzalez comes in for Caleb Ferguson, and he had himself a game. Look, everyone loves Brusdar Graterol. I love me some Bazooka, but you got to show some love to Victor Gonzalez. He was my Dodgers dog of the night because he was showing dog on that mound his whole outing. He goes 2 1/3 innings pitched, retires all 7 batters he faced, and Victor Gonzalez, he had 3 punch-outs, a phenomenal showing from Victor Gonzalez. Then the Dodgers add another run in the 4th. After a 2-out Jock Peterson double, Will Smith comes up with 2 outs, gets his own 2-out double, putting the Dodgers up 2-0.
Smith can do.
Drilled to left center field. Back deep into the gap. Will Smith brings home Jock Peterson. Back-to-back 2-out doubles, and it's 2-0.
So clutch hitting by the Dodgers. They're hitting over 300 with runners in scoring position on the season, and they get it done once again in that department today. But the bullpen did run into some trouble in the 6th inning. Scott Alexander comes out to pitch the 6th, and he just did not have the command. He couldn't find the strike zone. After getting Crawford to ground out for the 1st out, he issues back-to-back walks, first to Rickard, then to Yastrzemski. His night was done. They pulled him. Blake Trinan comes in. He puts out the fire. After a tough 10-pitch at bat to Flores, he gets him to strike out on a foul tip. Then he gets Longoria to ground out on the next play, ending the threat in the inning. And then Kenley Jansen comes in the 7th to close things out for the Dodgers. Now, how would Kenley bounce back? He had his first blown save of the season on Tuesday night, and Kenley gets the job done. He gets his 8th save in 9 tries, but it didn't come without any stress. Belt reaches on a bunt single to get the first base runner for the Giants, and then he goes goes on to walk Joey Bart. So that put on the tying runs for the Giants in consecutive innings, and it was a tightrope job for this Dodgers bullpen the last 2 innings, but they got it done. Kenley Jansen in that 7th inning, that four-seam fastball had serious life to it. He wasn't throwing it to the catcher, he was throwing it through the catcher like he did to Brandon Crawford to end the game.
2 out.
Swung on and missed, strike 3. And the Dodgers shut out the Giants twice today. 7-0 in the first game, 2-0 in the second.
So the Dodgers get the win and improve to a Major League best 24-9 on the year. It was the first time the Dodgers had 2 shutouts on the same day since September 19, 1971 against the Atlanta Braves. In the second game, there weren't many hits, only 3 hits for the Dodgers in the second one, and runs were at a premium. That's why I'm going with Will Smith for player of the game. Will Smith, the big RBI double, and he also caught 7 different pitchers today. Here's Will Smith after the game talking about the remarkable job by this Dodger bullpen.
They're really attacking the zone. They're getting ahead of guys, getting a lot of ground balls tonight, and then executing some 2-strike pitches for some punchies, and they're just on the attack the whole day.
Hey, what I tell you on the first show of the year, 2020, the year of the bullpen for the Dodgers, and I think they're only going to get better. Joe Kelly's missed some time. He's still out with shoulder inflammation, and he has to serve that suspension. And I think the Dodgers are going to make a trade for a starting pitcher in the coming week, and they'll send one of those back-end guys into the bullpen. They're only going to get stronger. So big ups to this Dodgers bullpen. And after the game, Dave Roberts talked about how the pitching set the tone in these 2 Dodger wins today, one by Clayton Kershaw and the other by this dominant Dodgers bullpen.
I mean, it was 2 separate type of pitching performances, and I think that for Clayton to set the tone in Game 1, obviously gave us a lot of flexibility in Game 2. So, Clayton didn't think he was sharp. I thought he was getting better, through the game. But for him to go out there and still compete and throw up zeros through 6, I thought was big. And to see Josh get in the game, I thought was good for him. And then you look at the next game, the way we ran relievers out there, matched up, coming off an off day. I thought it was a great opportunity to get these guys some innings, and they pitched really well, and it was good to see.
So a fantastic job by this Dodger team after an emotional day yesterday to win both games, improve their record to 24-9. They're now 8-0-3 in series this season. They still have not lost a series. They're the only team in Major League Baseball with single-digit losses, and I was really impressed with the way the Dodgers took care of business today. You saw guys that were cold for long stretches of the season start to get hot. Guys like Jock Peterson, Cody Bellinger, even Max Muncy is starting to get it together. Austin Barnes is still hitting. Will Smith had a big game today, and then that Dodger bullpen, they showed out in a big way today. Only 2 hits for that Dodgers bullpen. Give them all the credit in the world. That was their win today, but that's going to do it today for the Dodgers Nation post-game show. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at DMAC_LA, and be sure to subscribe to the new podcast, Dodgers Dugout. So with Dodgers Dugout, we're taking all the best takes from the post-game show in a condensed form. We're adding more stuff, analysis, takes, all that good stuff. Search Dodgers Nation, Dodgers Dugout on Apple and Spotify. So be sure to subscribe, rate, and review the new podcast. But that's going to do it. See you guys next time. Think blue, bleed blue, and I'm out.
It's time for Dodger baseball.
Swung on and missed a perfect game.